going down, everybody? How you doing? How's everybody doing on this Monday evening? How you feeling out there in TV land? It's your boy, Hunter the Stizzles. Mm, God in man form. And the Prophet de jour. Holla at your boy. Welcome to Thailand TV. It's your boy. It's your man. It's my show. It's Thailand TV. Welcome. This is Monday. Something to just give your mind a little separation from daily rustle and the bustle, the hustle, the tussle, the rat race. Talk a little bit about sports that I do on my Monday shows. What's going on in the sports world, sports theme, anything that has to do with sports, coaching. You know how I get on that cracking, and that's what I do on my Monday shows. Hopefully, you guys have a moment on my Thursday shows where I talk about love and relationships. But tonight, we're going to keep it sports specific. Tonight, you know how your boy do, man. You know how I do. So stay with me. Because everything I say always comes back to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shout out. You know how I am, man. I'm biased about my 2026 boys, man. I'm biased about my 2026 boys, man. They had prom this weekend, man. And man, I was a little bit yeah, man, I was a little bit taken over with emotion, to say the least, man. I just, seeing these guys, man. I had a conversation one time with a colleague, and he was like, "Why you call them your boys, right?" And I'm like, "Man, because I remember these dudes when they was in second and third grade, man. Like that's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like to be influential in their lives since they were in second and third grade. Some of them, that's it's crazy. It is crazy, man. Um, some of these guys, man, just to see them, being young dudes, and I was talking to somebody before, man, just to see them, in their suits and in the ties, they bow ties, man, and cleaned up, shaven, you know what I'm saying? They got facial hair, you know what I'm saying? But just clean cut, man, looking nice, man. Got the shoes on, the Stacy Adams up in this joint. And then to see the ladies, man, the ladies are dressed up, man. Got their hair done nice, got their makeup done right. And they looking older, man. They looking like, what I'm saying, young adults, and it's good to see that, man. It's good to see that, especially knowing, where they come from, two front teeth missing. You know what I'm saying? That's how I've been knowing some of these boys, man. Pooping with two front teeth missing. They just lost a tooth. And you know what I'm saying? We had the game. They're like, Mr. What? Mr. Coach Ty, I lost my tooth. I lost my tooth. You know what I'm saying? Like that, So it's so real of a moment, man, to watch these young boys, man, these young ladies, man. I've known some of them since they were really young. Um, you know, uh, to get dressed up and look like young gentlemen and young ladies, and knowing they got some good boys, man, got some good kids, man, some good ladies out there, man, and they're gonna hit the ground running and be ready. Like I said, I'm a little bit biased with my 2026 kids, man. That's just how I am. I'm like that. See, people are like that, but most people want to hide it. I'm gonna claim mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm biased to them dudes, man. That class, dudes and ladies, that class 2026, man. I'm biased about them, man. They're my peoples, man. I love them to death, man. I'm so proud of them. And just watching these guys during prom, man, getting ready for prom and taking photos and just being out there with them and interacting with them, and you know, and of course, I got my younger guys in there too, man. I got my younger guys out there too, man. They doing their thing right now. So, but you know me, man. It's just a bias against that 2026 group. So that prom thing, I know how much of a huge thing it is for these young people too when they go and they hang out with each other. Man, big ups to my son, man. He's looking fresh out there, looking fly as ever. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Showtime out there. That's what he do. So you know what I'm saying. It's only right and only fitting. Yeah, man. So shout out to these young people, man. I saw I had to do some dibs. If any parent knows, that's what what dibs is, where you gotta, give back to the team, because my son on track team, so we gotta do some dibs. They contracted for us to come in and work one of the basketball tournaments. It's the Battle of the Lakes basketball tournament, because Apple Valley had a site there, because my son's still with them. So still got a couple more weeks though. You know what I mean? But So I did my thing with them, man. And I went up in there and I saw in the case, man, they got the plaque up there, man. They got the plaque up there, dog. They got the 2026 uh state class 4A second place. They got the plaque up there. You know what I'm saying? That's dope, man. We should, man. Me and Rob, man, we talked about this the other day, man. We should have had a banner. I should be able to walk in the gym at any point in time, man, and just look up and be like, yeah, my boy put that banner up there. Two of them. We should have two of them. I think we should have two. I definitely think we should have two because when they was juniors, they was nice. They was like that. They was that. I always been. That's the thing about it. Like I said, man, I don't mean to be biased of anything, but those boys were nice. Man, junior year, I think we could have grabbed that one. You know what I'm saying? And then this year we should have grabbed it too. You know what I'm saying? I think the boys knew that too because they had that mentality like they was ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So just one ball bounce the way they supposed to bounce or whatever, man. It is what it is. But they in the case, man. I think they in the case for basketball. They in the case for football. A lot of individual track stuff. The wrestling team, wrestlers, baseball players. So big ups to these young guys, man. A lot of awards being passed around these last 2 years, and probably will continue to do so too, because it's a lot of athletes coming into there. Just hopefully those guys are guided in the right direction. You know, that's all you can hope and wish, man. But I thought that was dope, man. I had because when I got there, I had to work concessions, so I went over the concessions and did my thing, whatever, for a little bit. Once it got slow, I was like, hey, look, can I run over here to the glass real quick? I just want to check out the glass. So I went over there, checked it out, and yeah, they, what I'm saying, they in there. They got the glass in there. They got the awards in the glass. I love it, man. I'm a sentimental person, man. I talk a lot of stuff. I clown and laugh and whatever. But when it comes down to it, man, I'm a sentimental person, man. It's little things that move me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that this is one of the things is um, um, just seeing the excellence of these young people and having it being etched in stone, basically over at their school, the high school that they graduated from. They'll be in there forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot. Unless, what I'm saying, a whole bunch of classes push them out. You know what I'm saying? That's what the whole banner would have been about. We had the banner, though. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going nowhere with the banner. But my love to my guys, man. They did their thing, man. You guys are solidified in the records of Apple Valley, of the halls of Apple Valley, man, forever, man. So big shout out to you guys, man. And man, like I said, man, seeing you guys all dressed up, it's dope, man. It's dope. It's dope seeing you guys, man, being grown. Shout out to everybody. Everybody got problems going on within the last few weeks. Probably coming up next week or so, you'll be having your problems. And shout out to all you young people, man, out here transitioning into young adults. And I love it, man. It looks good. You guys are looking good out there. Keep doing your thing. And nothing but love, man. Real quick, one time we all because this is a conversation that always happens too, man. This LeBron conversation always happens, and it'll be a conversation that always happens. I mean, I think comparing players puts you in it puts you in an argument, right? It's going to always put you in an argument when you compare players. But there's one thing you can't do. You cannot deny greatness. You can't. Like, for real. Like, we can argue who is the greatest of the greats, but you can't deny greatness. And some of the times, I think that people out here, especially like what they talk about with Skip Bayless, right? They really don't give LeBron his flowers that he's owed. I mean, the dude is an athletic freak, and he's been an athletic freak. He's 40 years old in the league, 47 years old, and he's still an athletic freak. He's still like the most scariest person coming down the court on a one-on-one. Like, straight up. In all of basketball, there's only one guy that's coming down, that a freight train that's coming down the court that you don't want to be standing in front of. You know what I'm saying? There's only one guy, right? And still at 40 years old, So I think Skip be giving that man disrespect, bro. I mean, somebody said something about he was talking to they were talking on one of their shows, and they were saying that LeBron, somebody voted LeBron number 2, And then Skip was like, well, I see him at number 9. I was like, come on, man. It can't be. LeBron James, one person saying 2 and one person, come on. They can't be that far apart. Like, the dude is like one of the freakiest things that ever hit the league. I get it. You're not happy with everything and part of his game, but I don't think there's anybody that's ever been in the league that somebody was happy with every part of their game. You know what I'm saying? It's something that somebody could think that they could have done more of or improved on down the list from 1 to 100. You know what I'm saying? Top 100. But to disrespect LeBron and put him so low as 9, I don't think that. I think that's disrespect. I don't find him in everybody's top 3. I don't. I think he would be top 5 for sure. I think the legacy, everything he's done for the game. I think his game itself. I think everything he's transcended outside of the game. Puts him up there as a conversation piece of the greatest of all times. You know what I'm saying? But definitely so. We know hands down who the greatest of all time is. The GOAT is Michael J. You know what I'm saying? Jeffrey Jordan. He's the greatest of all time. And the dude that mimicked him basically almost to a T, you got to put him like there, close to there. And then, yes, there's always, you know what I'm saying, Will Chamberlain's, Oscar Robertson's. There's some people got Steph up in there. But I think LeBron is definitely top 5. Definitely top 5. So I think giving him a 9 would be disrespectful. I think having him in your top 10, but having him in the lower part top 10, I think is disrespectful. It just is. The guy is just an athletic freak. Like, you can't. There was a point in time. I've said this before. There's a point in time when you could not even build that guy in a video game. You couldn't even build him. They didn't give you enough attributes, enough points to build that character. You know what I'm saying? So, get that man his dues. Get a man his dues, man. Get a man his flowers, man. Stop disrespecting him, Skip. He better than that, though. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Get a little bit of drakey drake. But no, I was reading something. I always be reading something about Daddy Ball, right? This is something about Daddy Ball, talking about coaching your kids, coaching kids, and specifically having one of those kids be your child. I think that's a very difficult situation. I think people don't understand what it takes to have to be able so it's a kind of a situation where it's very difficult to. One of the things that I recognized was people always question other kids, right? And then they question the other kids on what they're getting, the opportunities they're getting. Everyone always does. Everyone does, right? And I think what makes that a difficult situation is when you're the father of one of the kids that's on the team, right? Where you get into that situation, where I used to get into the situation is because my kid worked harder on the court than mostly everybody else. So it was difficult because it was like, okay, excuse me, sorry about that. Ooh. It was like, my kid's hustling back on defense. My kid's DMing the guy up 94 feet. My kid's going in there getting rebounds. He's diving for loose balls. It's like, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. He's my kid. But you know what I'm saying? If he wasn't my kid, this is the one of the things that I felt was the best argument that I could ever say to someone. If that child that we're discussing was not my son, like if he didn't have my last name on there, if that kid was a random kid that I didn't know and he played the same way he's playing, would you guys still be feeling the same way? And my thing is, no, people wouldn't be. Like, especially with my son in particular, I know that people were like thinking that maybe my influence made him stay on the floor. And I was like, how can I show these people that's not true? You know what I'm saying? Like, because obviously they watch obviously they watching the game. So I know they can see the dude, you know what I'm saying, going any and everywhere. And he used to be like that too when he was younger, when he was like third, fourth, fifth, sixth grade. Like, dude was everywhere, man. Like, dude be everywhere. I'd be like, God dang. And like there were so many times, especially like people know me, my boy Rob knew me when I was head coaching. I was like, there were times where I want to walk on the court and I want to choke the shit out of the dude. Because I'd be like, yo, so and so, go to TJ. No, I don't want to come off. I'm like, who the hell? Get off the floor. No, I don't. But man, hey, Rob like Ty, chill. Boy, get off the floor now. You know what I'm saying? Put him off the floor. Other team go on a run. Ain't nobody getting back on D. They past breaking us. Hey man, get back in the game. and so the irony about that was once he got to the high school level and we went through everything we went through at the Apple Valley, it was like his senior year that played out again exactly the same way. It was like the coaches were like, yo, they were trying to put the dude on the bench and put somebody else in. They would put somebody else in. A minute later, they put him right back out. I'm just saying though, because it was like, as a dad coaching your kid, right? What you got to understand is people will never see that you coaching every kid the same way you coach your kid. As a matter of fact, you coach your kid harder. And I think a lot of times that's what those people that my colleagues used to hate was because I coach my kid harder than everybody. Because I do. I go at him. I say one thing, he don't listen. All right, fine. They don't do it there. Don't do nothing. Don't do it right. Cool. You're out of there. Everybody else, I'm like, hey, let's work on this, let's work on this. But because that's the relationship we have now. I'm gonna tell you something once, and that's it. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. And everybody else, I'm gonna give them a little bit more because you've been with me every day, so I shouldn't have to go into detail about what I'm saying. I've been saying this to you since you was a baby, so I shouldn't have to go into detail. Everybody else will give them a little bit of breakdown, try to figure it out, try to solve that. You know, you know what I'm saying? You know, like especially when it comes to defense. That's one of the things I emphasize with the day of jump. That's one of the things he's one of the best at on the floor. You know what I'm saying? That's why. You know what I'm saying? I instilled that type of mentality in him from day jump one. That's the most important thing you do on the floor. Defense. That's the most important thing you do. If you don't do nothing else good, you play great defense. I don't care. And that's a mentality as a father I put in also the children that I coached as well, his friends, taught them the same thing. And that's why when you see them, they're some really pretty good defensive players. They're really some really good defensive players, man. I think my guy, and to have some colleagues like I had growing up. I mean, coming up from second, and third grade when we was in association. You know, a guy like Gary Trent, a guy like Rob Parker, a guy like Fuzz, Lamar Flowers, a guy like Marco Mosea. I mean, these guys, you know, Buck. You know what I'm saying? Buckner, man. These guys are passionate guys, especially about playing defense. You know what I'm saying? Like they're strong-minded people, individuals, and men, and they taught that same toughness in these young guys. And so that's why I was so happy to have them around while coaching my son, because it didn't just seem like it was me teaching this young man some of the things I'm telling him. And now I have some other men that are saying the same thing. So now it's like, okay, he really realizing, okay, it's not just about dad getting on me. These guys see the same thing in me and are pushing me to be the best also. It's a dirty game out there, man. You got to figure out how. One of the things you got to do is you got to try to make parents understand. And my thing is this too. You got to realize this. I talk about openness and everything else when it has to deal with parents, man. I think one of the best, especially when you're a father of one of the kids, what you got to do is you got to let them know. You got to be. My thing is this: being real is like the most important thing with me. So one of the things that coaches need to start being real about when they talk, Like, be real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of the things you got to be real about. Be real, right? So, and one of the things you got to be real about, just being real. But one of the things you have to be real about is favorites. Tell them I got a favorite. I told my team one time. They asked me. They said, "Yo, coach, who's the best player on our team?" I told them Matthew Corn. I said Matthew Corn's about. I think Matthew Corn's the best player on this team. He's like, "What? You talking about, coach? How?" I said, "Because Matthew Corn will bust his head on that floor getting that ball. His ain't never played basketball before. I talked about Matthew before. Never played basketball before when he was with us. But if his player that he was defending got that ball, he was getting that steal. He was taking that ball from him. He was just taking the ball from him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and the ball comes off the rebound. Everybody else letting the ball go for. He go dive on that ball and get that ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my favorite player. Simple. That's simple. Everybody might have thought it was the guy that shot the ball the most. Everybody probably thought it was the guy that crossed over ankle breakers the most. Everybody thought it was the guy who probably rebounded the most or whatever, or shot at them. No, it was the guy that played the hardest. That's my favorite player. That's my favorite player. And parents will know. I'll tell them that. I reward my favorite players that bust their ass, that play hard. And as long as you're doing that, parents can see that, and they'll see you give that to the most deserving player of that. And when they see that reward, they can understand, okay, this person is real, because it didn't matter who it is. They're just rewarding them for playing hard. And people that ain't playing hard, sit down, buddy. That's the only way you can make parents understand that it's not just about your kid. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll punish anybody. And not only that, you're honest with them and let them know that your favorite is real and it's the person that's going to bust their ass. You know what I'm saying? They can never call you out for that. I mean, one of the things they have two different categories. They separated to good daddy ball and bad daddy ball. They got under good daddy ball. They got holds everyone accountable, develops all players, teaches life lessons, builds trust and respect, and win the right way. These are things I've been talking about. I mean, maybe the algorithm is favoring towards what I say, but these are things that I talk about. Bad daddy plays favorite. Okay, we'll see now. Hold on. Plays favorite, but it specifically says your kid plays more, others deserve less. But that's the opposite of what I just said. I think as long as you're honest with people and say, because that's my thing about it, you're going to play favorites. Don't be a liar and act like you're not. Everyone does. Everyone does in every aspect of life. So as a coach, you have your favorites. Just make your favorite be the person that's given the most effort. Period. Because then they'll all follow suit. Excuses after every mistake kills confidence. Can't do that. Creates drama. Loses the bigger picture. That kills confidence when other players tune out. Kids stop trying. Chemistry dies. I've seen that, man. I've seen that. And that's not just with daddy ball. That's with, like, you know what I'm saying? People just trying to play daddy ball. You know what I'm saying? And what we have going on nowadays, we got to move away. We're trying to move, and I see a lot of people, posting things about it. We're trying to move away from this bad basketball, bad sports in general. And the best way to do that is to start holding the right people accountable. And as long as we're doing that, we'll bring basketball, good sports back. You know what I'm saying? Because people start to realize that we're not just letting people get away with the bull crap anymore. Now and these young people and these players have the ability to adjust to anything. They just need to be taught the parameters that they need to stay in, and everything will be good. You know what I'm saying? So, get it like that. Yeah, man. I'm gonna get into the topic though in just a second here, because I want to go ahead and get up off of here, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you guys at all that long tonight. I'm just gonna keep you for a little bit. I promise. Promise I won't keep you that long tonight. You're gonna jump into the topic of the evening, man. And this is mainly because I try to tiptoe around it. I want to talk a little bit about AAU basketball. So this is the reason why we talked about standing still. Because AAU season is live and running. They just had the Battle of the Lakes. basketball tournament here in Minnesota, man. I swear, I seen the list. It had to be like 1,000 teams, bro. It had to be 1,000 teams in this tournament, bro. It had to be 1,000 teams, all good, all dudes. I think it's all dudes. Like 1,000 teams, man. That's crazy work, man. Hey, you stuff is crazy work. First, real quick, y'all getting out of hand with this crap, man. I went to one of the games, man. They tried to charge me 50 for the weekend. I think they tried to charge me 30, but I told them, so I looked at the grades. I said, let me get the player discount, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, the prices, man, y'all tripping, dog. Y'all tripping. And this only for the minute in the state was, man. The out of state was got to be off the users right now. Because, man, I'm like, yo, they trying to hit me for 50, bro, for the weekend. I said, damn, man, 50, man, that's a half a note, bro. That's a half a note, bro. But, I said I had to get in there and I had to check out some players, man. Some of my players that I coach, man. See how they doing, man. They looking good, man. They looking good, especially from the videos I'm seeing out there. But what I have been seeing out there is the reason why I brought up the topic for the evening. Call it standing still. The reason why is because I'm seeing a lot of kids just standing still, man, on offense, man. It's like, yo, and I get it too, because I as a coach, I saw this too, and I used to be like, it used to make me wonder, right? Because I'm watching the kids run plays, and then after they run the play once, they stop running the play, and then they just stop. It happens a lot in AAU because of the fact that a lot of these times you're not running a lot of plays. I mean, you got your sets, your main sets, but you're not really running a lot of plays. And there's no continuous motion. It's more one-on-one driven. Guy with the ball makes a move, makes a creative move, or takes a shot. That's really all the offense is really doing nowadays. I'm thinking, and that's AAU basketball. That's pretty much what AAU basketball is. Saying get your shots up, get your reps up, and showtime and highlights. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the main thing that AAU is about right now. So that's what you get a lot of. You don't get a lot of kids, running full-blown sets. There's no shot clock. And it's very individualistic and stylistic right now. And that's the thing that worries me when I see stuff like that, because it transfers as a coach. As a coach myself, I stepped away from the AAU set a while ago. I stepped away from coaching AAU and just concentrated on coaching this season. But then I started looking at how that transitions over into the high school season during the winter, and how kids have to kind of readjust and coaches have to kind of reteach certain things, because kids are coming off AAU seasons where they just been getting loose. You know what I mean? They've been getting loose, and now we got to bring them back in and teach them team basketball again. Like I was touching on a little bit, one of the things that I see during the winter season is a lot of kids running the plays, and they'll run the play, and if you don't call out another play for them to run, they just become stagnant. They just become still, standing still. It's the whole point of the theme of my topic of the night. Just running your set. You run a flex or whatever offense you run, and then after they run that, it doesn't work. The ball comes back out top, and now you got people standing still, right? I think one of the biggest problems is off the ball. Guys are not knowing what to do off the ball. I think a lot of guys don't know what to do without a ball in their hand. I've spoken about this before, just the fact of, coming into practice and the balls are locked up in the cage, and the kids are just sitting on the floor. Whole team, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids just sitting on the floor. Man, what are y'all doing? There ain't no balls. You're in a gymnasium. You're in a gym, and you're sitting on the floor because there's no balls. I'm like, yo, get up, stretch, run some laps, get warm, do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's just, but this is my point. Like a lot of the things I talk about be like little bitty things, little bitty tweaks that nobody would even look or pay attention to, and that's why it causes more things later on. And not being able to motivate yourself without a ball in your hand transitions to the court. Now you ain't doing nothing because you don't have a ball in your hand. Why would I don't have a ball in my hand? I'm not in the play. The play isn't run on my side or for me. I'm not in that action over here. So I'm just gonna stand here. I think one time, I think it was dope that we had when I was with while I was with the Apple Valley program. One time they had called in a pretty nice old school um, big name coach, Coach Demick. Coach Demick, I think his name. Yep, Coach Demick, his name. They brought him in, and he was talking to our kids, which was dope, man. I love that old school to new school conversations. And he was telling the kids about what I'm talking about, moving off the ball, you know. And I think one of the things picked his brain for is circling. Loved it. Oh God, circling. What circling means basically like when the action's on the left side of the floor. Let's say there's two guys on the right side of the floor. Instead of just sitting there stagnant and standing still, waiting for the action to come back, just go set a screen. If you don't set a screen, then circle. Just you know what I'm saying? You go touch the paint, go out to the wing, come back up top. Just circle. Just do a circle. Don't stand still. And I thought that was dope because that's how the mindset of kids have to transition. Even if you're not going to set a screen, even if you're not in the action, just move around. You know what I'm saying? Just move around. And um I picked his brain on that one, and when I talk to my young people, I kind of bring that up. You know what I'm saying? Like kids that I'm coaching, I'm like, just move around. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, just move around. Just keep moving. Even if you're not in an action, even if you're not setting a screen, just move around. Do a circle. Go touch the paint real quick and come back out. You know, and um, get your mind to understand not being stagnant, not staying still. Um, One of the things I do when I'm playing ball with my guys is I've talked about this in the show episode before, man. We do a lot of screening, man. We screen a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because we just first of all we older, you know what I'm saying. But second of all, it's to keep that ball or keep that movement going. You know what I'm saying? Keep the defense honest. Um, we're always screening with each other. You know what I'm saying? We set double screens, triple screens, elevated screens, flare screens, drop down screens, pin downs. We DOH. We doing all this. You know what I'm saying? At our age, because we understand that it's more important. Uh, Steph shots, right? Steph Curry shots, right? A lot of people think that Curry shot attempts is because he comes down with the ball and takes the shot. No, actually, most of his shots come from him running around, coming off a screen, and then popping that thing. Most of his shots come like that. And the only way he's able to get that is if you got the best shooter on the floor. How is he getting open, right? The only way he's getting open is by running through screens, multiple screens, running through everybody moving and setting screens for him, everybody moving in position to set the screen for him. But they're all moving. Um, and yeah, I guess you can kind of, parlay and just chill when Steph got the ball. But still, I mean, they're on the other side. They're moving. They're going to spots to get ready for set up for him to come through. Um, and that's why they can have a guy like Draymond Green. Um, Steph Curry can have a teammate like Draymond Green, perfect for him because all the guy wants to do is set a screen and get that ball to the guy, to Steph. So it's a perfect combination. You know what I'm saying? Have a point forward who put pretty solid guy, that can lay a guy out and he can make a pass, when needed. So which can free up Steph to kind of just like I said, move his defender around the court, you know what I'm saying, and catch him slipping one time. All you gotta do with a guy like Steph, all you gotta do is catch your defender slipping one time. Back cut, flare screen, bam, he's slipping. Open three. That's all he needs. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way Steph gets most of his shots. And I think a lot of kids don't understand that. They think, what I'm saying, and coaches too, they think that they're teaching these kids to grab rebounds and just go down, move clear out, crossover, 15, 16, 17, 18 dribbles, shot. You know what I'm saying? But that's not gonna work. Not in today's game, man, especially with the way that because you gotta think, I tell people this too. You gotta think. People are training offense. Somewhere, somebody's training defense. Somewhere, somebody's training, whether they're doing it themselves or whether somebody's training them. Somebody's training defense. And there's some select a few, but you're gonna run up against somebody that's gonna be like, yeah, that shit ain't flying. That stuff you doing on offensive end ain't flying. And I think one of the biggest things that a lot of kids don't really understand when it comes to telling them to move is you make the defense work. You have to make the defense work. You can't have guys sitting there on defense on the other team just chilling. You can't be over here running a screen, dribbling the ball 15, 16 times on the left side because the defenders on the right side haven't moved. They've literally just been standing there for 25 seconds, 25, 30 seconds of the shot clock. They've just been standing there. So now we miss the shot or we turn the ball over. We go on the defensive end for us, and their legs are straight fresh. They ain't tired at all. They ain't even moved. They haven't moved from one spot. So now they're on the offensive end with fresh legs. What you think gonna happen with fresh legs and shooters? They finna put the shots up. Now you're working on defense. That's one of the biggest things about standing still is that you're succumbing to the defensive player and you're allowing them to rest. You're allowing them to rest. And we can't do that, people. We got to make these coaches, we got to make these kids understand that they got to move because what it does is it tires out that defense a little bit. Yes, I'm not trying to say it's going to make them to the point where they're dying, but it could. I mean, if you got a team, tell me. I mean, basketball players, tell me what's worse: a team of kids that are just always moving. Like, because I play ball with guys, and my boy Ant, man, this little dude be everywhere, fast with them little legs, boy. That boy legs fast as heck, boy. Matter of fact, it's a video. I got a video where I hit the three. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking stuff. Look back at it, took off. Like, oh shit, man, he's already at the rim. But that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be the guy defending the guy that runs around everywhere because you know you're gonna be tired. You know you're gonna be worn out. You know you can get caught slipping. You know what I'm saying? That's what it does. That's why kids should always be moving. They should always be in something where they're moving. And it's the same way on defense. You can't be standing still on defense. You can't. You can't be standing still on defense, man. I think that's the biggest side of the ball where you can't be standing still. I mean, if you are, I think that one of the phrases I used to tell my kids is you got to be proactive and not reactive. I think standing still transcends into being a more reactive person, whereas if you're on your toes, you're moving, you're bouncy, I think you're being more proactive. You know what I'm saying? And you're able to be a little bit more effective on the defensive end. Because you know how it is. The moment you stand still, the moment you get beat. That's when you're going to get beat. The moment you take a break, you know what I'm saying? That's the moment you got beat. Backdoor, take it to the basket or whatever it is. Hand down, man down, right? But I do a lot of baiting on defense though too. So like I do a lot of I try to teach my son this too. Like you got to be tricky with some people. You got to bait them into making a pass. So like you got to purposely favor if you on the backside of the defense and you got two guys in your area, favor one guy to bait them to throw it to the other guy, and then you know what I'm saying. So that's one time where I'm the type of person where I'll be still because I'm tricking them to make them think that I'm not paying attention. But I call that my light switch defense. You got to be grown enough to handle some information like that. I'm not gonna tell you too many people about that light switch defense, but you got to be able to bait people. And that's the one time I think standing still is okay is when you're baiting them, making them think you're not paying attention. So then they throw it, and you're off to the races. I think standing still is one of the reasons why I implement motion offense. I implement my motion offense because it's a simple offense and it just makes people move. Everybody has to move. The only person that can't move is the guy with the ball. And if you're with the ball, why wouldn't you want to move? You know what I'm saying? So that means everybody's moving. It's one simple rule. When the pass is made, you screen away. That's it. Every time the ball moves, you move. So once you make the pass, the two closest guys to the ball go screen away. It's very simple. And what it does is initially with that first screen, right? That first pass, once you screen away, you've given isolation. You have right off the bat, you've given the space for isolation because the two people are going away from the ball. So you get that isolation to where, hey, I can get this dude to the basket, and your guys are going away from you. That's creating more space, right? That's the initial thing that the motion offense does. And then secondly, you got your screens, right? So you're screening away. So you got your down screens. You can do flare screens. You can do pin downs. You can even do elevator screens out of that. Whatever you want to run out of that, right? But at the same time, the other four players are either setting screens or getting screens set for them, right? So everybody's doing something. And then if you're the big man, let's say you're a big man, you do a pin down screen, right? Let's say you're a wing and you go down and do a flare screen for your 3-point shooter. Let's say you got a guy who's trailing your 3-point shooter, and then you're on one side and you guys decide to come together. Bam, elevator screen, come through us. You know what I'm saying? Bam, bam, 3-pointer. So you can run things out of it. I love to make my teams curl. I tell them all the time, man, with the with that screen away, curls are all day because you got, like I said, if the guy isn't going one-on-one, if the guy isn't doing that isolation, taking advantage of those screen aways and the curls off of those, oh man, boy, my kids used to be killing, especially the younger you are, oh my God, it's a field day. The older you get, people start to defend it better. The lane starts to clog up a little bit with more taller people. But still, if you run it right, you run the motion right, you keep them guessing, man, because it's almost like a Steph Curry offense because there's screens coming all the time. There's people that screening away all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so every time you're screening, somebody's coming open. Somebody's coming open because that defense is working. You're tiring them out. I've never seen that. I told my kids this one time, and it's so funny. I tell you all the time, people don't get that these kids pick up on things, and when you give it to them and you tell them that's the only option, they have no choice. They're young people. They don't know. They'll eventually just accept it because they don't know. They'll accept it and they'll apply it, and they look at you like, wow, that worked, Mr. Hey, coach, that worked. Like that, yeah. So I told him one time, I said, look, matter of fact, I was at practice one day, we were playing against varsity, and I said, look, I've never seen a team play 35 seconds of good defense. I've never seen it. I just never have. I was like, so what you guys need to understand is we can run at least 3 plays in 35 seconds. We can run 3 full complete revolution of plays in 35 seconds. What I mean is we run the play, we don't get what we want, start it over, run another play, we don't get what we want, start it over, run another play. I said we could do that 3 times. And by that third time, I guarantee you that defense is not going to be playing the same defense that they were playing at the beginning of the shot clock. I guarantee you they're going to be slipping up somewhere. And every single time, the first time it happened was in practice. We ran a play, boom, it didn't work. We ran another play, boom, it didn't work. We ran a play, another play, got the ball over to Christian for the 3 in the corner. Shot clock went off, or he shoot the 3, shot clock went off after he let it go because I watched it. 3, made it. Coach said no good. I said, oh, okay, yeah. You want my JV boys to win. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I bring that up is the very next game we played against Lakeville South. Same exact thing happened. I told him, I said, remember what I said? I said, I've never seen a team play for 35 seconds. Okay, so we're going to run this. We're going to run our play. If it doesn't work, run another play. If it doesn't work, run another play. I said, I promise you, by that third play, we will get the shot that we need. I guarantee you. And they was like, yo, all right, coach. They ran that thing, same thing. Christian got it in the corner, let it go. Shot clock went off. 3, splash. But it takes them to see it to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to understand the concept of other people. You got to stop thinking about yourself. When you start thinking about other people, you start thinking about what they're good at, what they're not good at. And if you're thinking about the defenders that are on you, you should know there's never been a time where someone's played complete 35 seconds of good defense. I haven't seen it. It may have been done. I just haven't seen it. And so because I haven't seen it, my team need to understand how to utilize that whole clock if you need to. You don't have to every time, but use it all if you need to, because I've never seen at some point in that 35 seconds, because you're making the defense work. You know what I'm saying? And everyone is making the defense work. All five of us. Nobody's standing still. Everybody's moving. And that's what the motion offense is supposed to do. So, and continuous offenses. Anybody that has a continuous offense, that's what it's supposed to do. Whether it's 5 out, whether it's flex, whatever it is, it's supposed to be something where everybody's moving. And if the action is over here, then the guys over here need to be either. I don't even care if you exchange. I would rather you set screens, circle if you at the lowest of whatever you do, circle. Step into the paint and step back out to the wing. Don't matter, but keep moving. And I think once you learn that, you learn to tire the other team out, and the game gets easier. And I think that's one of the main things that we can do for these young people and these players is teach them how to make the game easier. You'll see the game a lot better. You'll see it a lot better. But stop standing still, please. Please, coaches, teach these kids to move. Let's just stop, spotlighting the ball. Who got the ball? Let's get these guys moving, because it'll get them to more shots. They'll have more shot opportunities, which I know they love. I know these young people love shots. So my suggestion, I guarantee you, is going to get you to a point where you guys are getting more shots up, and everybody loves shots. So yeah, man, I'm up out of here, man. I'm gonna go watch the rest of this Lakers game. I don't even know the score yet. I'm not trying to even look at it. Don't want to spoil anybody's rocket ship. But big ups to everybody, man. Blessings. Happy Monday to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to Thailand TV whenever you do, if you do. And nothing but love, man. I'll see you guys on Thursday, man. We'll talk about some relationships. Y'all have a good night. Blessings.